Forget about the score. Forget about the scoreboard. We got 5 things we need to watch for in this Atlanta Falcons versus the Detroit Lions showdown tomorrow night in Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's all about the rookie. This is the rookie game. With the top quarterbacks on the bench, the true battle for the Falcons roster begins. This is the ultimate audition where hungry backups and young rookies get their chance to shine under the bright lights. What's up, Falcon family, Dirty Bird Nation? Welcome to another episode of Atlanta Falcons Pandemic, the heartbeat of the Dirty Birds faithful, where the fans never waver and that passion never dies. I'm your host, Manuel McFarland, the trusted voice for the diehard Falcon fans who live and breathe this team. This Friday's Falcons game, Friday night in the lights. I guess we're back to that again. But this game against the Lions isn't about the scoreboard. It's about the future. While many starters rest, the real story don't begin until players hit the field. It is written in the sweat of the guys fighting for their professional lives, is drawn up on the whiteboard of a coordinator testing his system limits. And it's felt in the roar of the crowd that's ready for something to believe in. Forget the final score. Turn the clock off. Honestly, it's the most meaningless part of the entire night. By Saturday morning, no one would care if the score was 21-17 or 3-0. What does matter are the roster spots being won and lost in the trenches. What does it matter if seeing the real glimpse of a Zach Robinson offense identity when his star players aren't there to bail him out? This game is a critical test, a foundation stress for the future of the Atlanta Falcons. And I'm breaking it down into 5 key storylines you cannot miss if you want to understand where the team is truly headed. Number 1, Zach Robinson playbook will be under the microscope. His strategic play calling needs to be better this season if the Falcons are to advance in the NFC, or if we are to remain in the motto of outrunning the South. We have to put points on the board. The first thing you need to be watching is maybe the most important from the big picture perspective, has nothing to do with one single player. It's about the scheme of the offense in itself, the offensive line, the wide receivers, the running back, tight ends, how everyone comes together in one system. We're about to see if Zach Robinson's offense is stripped down to its studs without his starters, because the starters won't be there to make him look good. Head coach Raheem Morris has already suggested that his top 2 quarterbacks, Michael Penix Jr. and Kirk Cousins, are not expected to play in the preseason opener. It's also very likely that stars like Bijan Robinson, Drake London, maybe not even Tyler Algier, will see little, if any, action. And I'm an old school guy. I have never been a fan of keeping players out for the preseason. You have to get your body in tune for a long tenure, for a long season. You have to get your body acclimated. And it's not going to come with just 1 or 2 preseason appearances. This isn't the high-powered machine we expect to see in week 1. This is the factory stress test. And truth be told, I'm kind of on the fence about sitting the starters, because Raheem Morris actually has a lot to look forward to in this game and the other 2 games. There are a lot of rookies that he has to take an honest look at. And every last one of them deserve an honest shot. From the undrafted free agencies, the camp invites, the rookies that were drafted in the 2025 draft. Each one of these guys deserve a strategic look, in-depth look, and an honest opportunity to make this 53-man squad. This is where we find out if the system is in its purest form, if it's sound to sustain the system. Last year was a whirlwind for Robinson, a first-time coordinator installing a brand new system. Now in year 2, the focus shifts from installation to evaluation. We've heard reports that Robinson and his staff have been dissecting the Washington Huskies playbook, the very system where Penix became a national titles contender. They want to build an offense that maximizes his incredible arm talent. But what happens when that arm isn't on the field? What happens when it's Easton Stick or Emory Jones taking the snaps? That's the test. Can this offense create easy opportunities for quarterbacks who don't have Penix's cannon or Cousins' savvy? I'm watching for the core concepts, how he manages the game, how the plays matches with the tempo of the game, how much motion and pre-snap shifting we'll be using to create confusion for the defense. Because truth be told, we have to put players like Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, Raven McLeod, Drake London. We have to put these players in position to succeed, especially if they're facing a top 5 corner or the elite corner, shutdown corner, defender. So we have a heavy dose to look at. With the 2 top receivers likely out, Darnell Mooney, Drake London, we'll see a heavy dose of tight end sets. A good look at guys like Charlie Warner and Tegan Corentino, the other tight end. We also have Joshua Smith. We can't leave him out of the equation. So, honest look, like I said earlier, it's going to be these players have to be evaluated on a level to where you have to look to see whether or not they'll be able to sustain the whole season and help this team. Now, we know Kyle Pitts is going to be here. We know that much. But this is still an audition for that future contract. But Zach Robinson has to do his due diligence in giving Kyle Pitts that opportunity to audition. So that comes down to Zach Robinson's play calling, strategic play calling, his ability to manage the game, because truth be told, offensive coordinators have that responsibility as well, not just the head coach. But this game is an evaluation of communication, adaptability, and pure execution. Can the 3rd string left tackle and the 4th string receiver get the call, line up correctly, and execute their assignment? When a play breaks down, does Emory Jones have a design outlet, or is he left running for his life? Zach Robinson's goal tonight isn't to score 40 points. It's to gather data. He needs to find out which of these depth players can think on their feet and execute the baseline principles of this offense under live fire. The process of this offense on Friday night won't be measured in yards or points, but in clean huddles, crisp execution, players proving that they can be trusted when the real bullets start flying. Second thing to look for in this game, the roster bubble gauntlet. That's what I'm going to call it. We're going to have an interchange of a lot of players being changed out in a short amount of time. For a solid 24 players on the field Friday night, this is not a preseason game. This is the single most important job interview of their lives. This is their Super Bowl. With the starters sitting, the spotlight swings directly onto the men on the fridge, the guys scrapping and clawing for the final spots on this 53-man roster. Every single snap is a resume item, for better or for worse. A missed tackle, a drop pass, a blown assignment. It could be the difference between a dream realized and a career ending. This is where the real drama of the preseason lives. Forget the stars you know. It's time to learn the names of the guys fighting for their livelihood, the unsung heroes. This is their chance. Can a running back like Carlos Washington Jr. or Joshua Corbin pop a 15-yard run that shows vision and burst? And both of these guys will probably get the opportunity to field a couple of kicks to see if they can earn a spot on special teams. Can a receiver like David Seals or Chris Blair make a tough catch in traffic to move the chains on third downs? Chris Blair and Casey Washington are really going to have to showcase whether or not they can fill that third down spot, third wide receiver spot when Drake London is not in the game or Darnell Mooney is not in the game. These are the moments that coaches rewind on the tape over and over again and pay close attention to the defensive side of the ball, which is teaming with intense competition. In the secondary, there's a fascinating battle for nickel corner spot between veteran D. Alford and the other defensive backs. Reports from camp also indicate that rookie safety Billy Bowman Jr., a second-round pick, is making serious waves, getting first-team reps, putting pressure on everyone in that defensive back room. Now, D. Alford, to me, guys, struggled last year. He struggled a lot. It shouldn't come down to the point where defense is being played on one side of the field, obviously being played on one side of the field, but you go to the other side of the field and it's like taking candy from a baby. So D. Alford, to me, is on the hot seat when it comes to that nickel position. But you can bet the coaching staff will be watching every one of those snaps to see if he can reclaim the name that he got when he came into the league, reclaim his top form. The same story is being played out at safety. We know Jesse Bates is an all-pro, but who starts next to him in a massive question mark? It's a battle between veteran Jordan Fuller and young guns DeMarco Hellams and rookie Xavier Watts. It's a fascinating battle to have. It's a tough job that you're going to have to pick somebody. But to me, Xavier Watts exhumes what we need. Somebody who can play both corner and safety. DeMarco Hellams could be a serious backup. But are we going to be able to keep all three? Both Hellams and Watts have reportedly been impressive in camp.
549, or are we going to be able to keep all three?
Siri must think I'm talking to her. But both Hellams and Watts have reportedly been impressive in camp, with Watts in particular getting some of the first team reps and showing a knack for physical play. This game is the proving ground. Now, with Watts getting first team reps, that means they are seriously considering having him being a starter. Because Justin Simmons, when he was here, did not, truthfully, he did not bring what we thought. He made a handful of plays last year, but it was not the impact that the Falcons was looking for from a veteran. So who communicates best? Who is a sure tackler? Who shows the instinct to be in the right place at the right time? For these players, every play matters because another team scout is always watching. A great performance could not only win them a spot in Atlanta, but it could also earn them a spot somewhere else if they end up on the wire. And truth be told, guys, any of the undrafted free agents that we have, if they hit the practice squad, bet your bottom dollar they are gone. Everybody from all the way down to Lenny Craig, the kicker, the European kicker that we have. If any of those players hit the practice squad, they are gone. Terry Fontenot made a great statement in one of his press conferences. He said that today's abundance meets tomorrow's necessity, and we have a lot of abundance. Whether we can use that for draft capital, depth role players, because truth be told, injuries will happen. It's part of the game. So when we call on next man up, we have that next man ready. Well, like I said, these guys, if it come down to it, it can earn them a spot someplace else. end up on the waiver wire. But anyway, guys, if you're enjoying this deep dive into what really makes this preseason, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. We're breaking down the Falcons from top to bottom all season long, giving you the analysis that goes beyond the box score. And let me know in the comments right now, which roster bubble players are you most excited to watch? Excited to watch. We have Kobe Bryant who's ready to showcase what we got. I'm sure everybody's looking forward to seeing him. We have Xavier Watts, like I just mentioned. We want to see if DeMarco Hellams comes back to where the point where he left off. Braylon Trice, we're anxious to see him. So, guys, in the comments, let me know who are you most anticipated and excited to see hit the field tomorrow night. Well, the third thing we need to look for in this game is the understudy position battles. Let's drill down to even deeper, specific high-stakes competitions that will directly impact the Falcons' depth chart. These are the battles where a strong performance against the Lions could solidify a job, because the Lions have a pretty good defense. Now, whether or not we'll see that this first game, this first drive is, remains to be seen. But you can rest assured that Ben Johnson will have those guys ready to play, whether they're the starters or the rookies. So, like I said, the Lions, a performance against the Lions could solidify somebody a job. And a weak one could open the door for somebody else. First, and maybe most surprisingly, keep your eyes on the kickers. For 6 years, Younghoe Koo has been a fan favorite and one of the most reliable kickers. But after a tough 2024 season where he battled a hip injury, the Falcons brought in legitimate competition. His challenger, Lenny Craig, a rookie from Germany who reportedly has a massive leg with range beyond 50 yards. And this is a strategic move too, guys. Lenny Craig is from Germany. He's already a household name. We have a game in Germany. Watch how electric that game get. If Lenny Craig makes this squad, then I'm pretty sure we probably hang on to both Koo and Craig. But imagine the electric, how electric it will be in that arena or in that stadium when Lenny Craig hits the field, his name is called, and how it will blow up once he gets an opportunity to kick a field goal. And tonight, guys, it's not going to be about scoring touchdowns. I think, Zach, the whole agenda is get into the red zone. Let's have this kicker battle. It's not about scoring touchdowns. Even though we're going to be given the opportunity to score touchdowns, Raheem Morris is going to go. He wants to see who's going to win this kicker battle. Get in a position, get these kicker under pressure, and let's see who's going to come out on top. We're not worried about touchdowns. We know Bijan Robinson can score a touchdown. We know Drake London can score touchdowns. We know Darnell Mooney can do it, Kyle Pitts. But marching up and down the field is where Penix is going to showcase his talent. But the red zone and field goal kicking is going to have to improve this year. Game time situation, game time pressure for those kickers. Every single field goal and extra point attempt in this game is a referendum on this position. Is Koo's down year just a blip? Or is Craig's leg strength a real threat to unseat the veteran? Don't underestimate the drama here. The kicker battle that happened first week of training camp. 15 field goals apiece. Koo missed the only one. Further down into camp, Koo became inconsistent. Lenny Craig still hot. I don't think he missed any. But anyway, let's shift our focus to the wide receiver depth. With Darnell Mooney nursing a shoulder injury and Drake London likely sitting this one out, the door is open, wide open, for others to step up. This is a golden opportunity for veterans. Kadero Hodge, who's definitely going to be on this team. No question about it. He's not auditioning. He's a special team player. He's a specialist. Ray McLeod. He's the one that I'm thinking may yes, he did have a great season last year. But if there's anybody expendable when it comes down to these the first four receivers, it's going to be Ray McCloud. Kadero Hodge is a third down specialist, not only just the special teams, but Raven McCloud. You have receivers that are in the win and back. Let's see, Casey Washington, um, Chris Blair. You're talking about two solidified guys that are also playing special teams and doing a phenomenal job. Raven McCloud ability is going to come in kick return, punt return. If he continues to work out in that area, he'll be on this team for sure. He won't be as expendable as I thought he would be. But they are no longer just role players. For this game, they're going to be the go-to guys. Can they get open? Can they be reliable targets to stick for Stick and Jones? The Falcons are just also looking for to fill that role at wide receiver 3 and wide receiver 4. But players like rookie Casey Washington, and truth be told, he is still a rookie. He hasn't played a real, full season, just like Penix. But can he step up? He has in camp, but can he carry on into the season? This is his chance to translate practice performance into game production. A couple of key catches could cement his spot on the roster. We saw his ability in one of the games last year. We know he has the potential. We saw him in preseason and open minicamp last season. We know he has the potential. But can he bounce back from that injury? Can he come back to the same Casey Washington? And finally, guys, let's watch that tight end rotation. Pitts is being handled with care, which means we're going to see a ton of Teagan and Charlie Warner, and maybe undrafted free agent Joshua Simon. I'm hoping to see a lot of Joshua. Joshua has the build of a tight end, but look like Julio and blocks like Charlie Warner. So I'm hoping we see a lot of this guy. He may be a move for the future. If he can solidify a spot on the special team, he would definitely make the 53-man roster. If he hits the practice squad, he's gone. He's gone. We know that they can block. All three of these wide receivers, we know that they can block. But this is a chance for them to prove that they can be more than that in Jack and Zach Robinson's offense. Can they actually get open? Can they take advantage of the mismatches? The scheme loves to utilize versatile tight ends. And a strong receiving performance from either of these guys could carve out a much bigger role for them in the regular season. This game provides a critical look at the depth behind the Falcons' primary weapons, testing the next man up in key skill positions. Fourth thing to look for in this game, the special teams revolution. Like I said, a lot of these guys are not only vying for a starting role, they have to solidify their reason of being on this field. So they can go both ways, playing special teams and be ready. Next man up, that man will make the 53-man roster. That's an asset. Could multiple games being played this season, we get to, can we get a real honest look at a brand new, completely overhauled kickoff rule? Because last season it was a trial error. We played it safe last season with this new kickoff rule. And it wasn't just a minor tweak. It's a revelation that turns what has been a dead play into a strategic chess play. We're back to that field position. Ever since the days of Matt Ryan, we just could not really just get real good field position to start a game. We always ended up deep in our own territory. So if we can take advantage of this new kickoff rule and players like Joshua Corbin, Ray McCloud, the two I'm looking for to have a battle in this position. Can they put the Falcons in better field position? And for players on the roster bubble, it's a brand new stage to prove their value. Special teams. But the new rule is designed to force returns. The days of the automatic touchback are over. Now, a kick into the end zone for a touchback brings the ball all the way out to the 30-yard line. A significant change for the kicking team. This fundamentally changes the job of the kicker and the entire coverage unit. It's no longer about raw power. It's about a surgical precision. Like I just said, the chess move. We've heard that the Falcons punter Bradley Pinion, who also handles kickoffs, has been working extensively on directional kicking, trying to pin the ball in a corner, forcing the returner to move and giving his coverage unit to converge. So watch out for this specifically. Where is Pinion placing the ball? Is he using different trajectories, high arcing kick with lots of hang time, or a low line drive to mess with the return team's timing? Now, one thing that we've done on this special team is on this off season, we brought in a lot of speed. So no matter who makes the special teams, speed will be there. It won't be a problem getting down the field. Our issue is going to be tackling, which has been the special teams have done a decent job over the last few years, but it's still the tackling. But this rule changes and creates hundreds of new live plays across the NFL this season, and those plays are auditions. For the guys at the bottom of the depth chart, being a standout on kickoff coverage could be their ticket onto this 53-man roster. So watch out for the gunners, the blockers, and the tacklers. Who is flying down the field with controlled aggression? Who is shedding blocks? Who is making sure to make that sure tackle? A player who makes two big stops on special teams is infinitely more valuable than a fifth receiver who can't get on the field. Coaches notice that every effort and directly translate to winning field position, which is why they will keep a player who excels here. Remember that, and people laughed at the fact that we brought back Felipe Franks. Felipe Franks has turned out to be a phenomenal special teams player and not a half bad tight end. And this is a former quarterback. But he has turned out to be a phenomenal special teams player. So it was no stranger, it was not strange to me that the Falcons brought him in when they had the opportunity. But like I said, coaches notice that effort on special teams. That's how a lot of players make their livelihood in the NFL. You remember former Atlanta Falcon Harper LaBelle? He came in here as a tight end, but he made his living as a long snapper. Great long snapper. That was one position we did not have to worry about when Harper LaBelle became the long snapper. But special teams is a make or break opportunity that has been given life and new importance for this season. Can we expound on that? Last look for in this game, the last thing we need to look for in this game, the fan experience and the building momentum. The fifth and final thing to watch isn't on the field at all, but in the stands and around the stadium. It's the atmosphere, it's the fan experience. It's a deliberate strategy by the Falcons organization to build momentum and goodwill before the season even begins. Against a team like Detroit Lions, that's a very good start. But fans have to do their part and get in the seats, watch the game. Stop treating the experience like it's a club. Come in, support the players, cheer your team to victory. Whether it's a preseason game or a regular season game, playoff game, it does not matter. There was an article that placed the Atlanta Falcons fans at the very bottom of the league when it came to our fandom. We know better. We know we rise up. But there are speculations out there that the Falcon fans are one of the worst in the NFL. I don't know if that's pertaining to attendance or our back and forth bandwagon fans. It may have to do with both. But the team is making a concentrated effort to welcome fans back and build energy around this new arena. The organization knows how important it is to re-engage the fan base and create a true home field advantage. They've held numerous open training camp practices, many of which were sold out to give fans an early look at the team. This last the first open mini camp, over 5,000 fans showed up. Terry Fontenot said this was outstanding, surprising. But 5,000 fans showed up for that game, that camp. But the gestures are about sending a message, guys. They are telling the fan base that they are appreciated and that this new era under Raheem Morris and Michael Penix Jr. is something to be excited about right from the very first preseason snap. So watch the crowd energy, listen to the roar. Detroit fans are known for traveling well, so there will be a good mix and a lively dynamic in the building. But how does the home crowd respond? Is there a palatable buzz, a sense of optimism? You can often feel the energy of a fan base in these early games. It's a bellwether for the hope and belief surrounding the team. The Falcon organization understands that the product isn't just the 11 guys on the field. It's the entire game day experience. You have people on game day start showing up at 6 o'clock in the morning for tailgating, setting up. So that tells you how our fan base is dedicated. You have some that actually spends the night on a game day previous, on a day previous to game day. So that tells you the dedication from our fan base. So where they and how they came up with the fact that we're one of the worst fan bases in the NFL, I just don't see it. It may be just hate. I think it's just hate. But by investing in the fans for a preseason game, they are making a down payment on the energy that they hope to get back during the critical fourth quarters in October and November. It's a smart move, and it's a subtle but important storyline to watch as the Falcons try to rebuild not just their roster, but their connection to the city. So when you sit down to watch the Falcons and Lions, challenge yourself to look past the scoreboard. The real stories are happening between the whistles. They're in Zach Robinson adjustments with this backup squad. They're in the desperate hustle for a player on the bubble. They're in the strategic placement of a kickoff. And they're in the collective energy of a fan base ready to believe again. While the final score will be forgotten by Saturday morning, the answer to these questions, the performances of these players, and the feel of the stadium will tell us so much about the foundation being laid for the 2025 Atlanta Falcons. Now, I laid out 5 things, right? Y'all notice I did not mention the defense, the much anticipated defense. I am a defensive guy. Love defense. But I have so much faith in what Jeff Albrecht has, although I will be looking forward to see how he get these guys to play together. But I have faith in Jeff Albrecht and what he's going to be able to do with these guys. He has speed, he has tackling, he has size, and he has his system, his knack for turning out Pro Bowlers. So what are you watching for most in this Lions game? Like I just said, I'm gonna be watching the defense. But these other 5 things I just talked about, there's so much more you can look for. The deal of the offensive line. I didn't mention that. Joshua Corbin coming in to play running back. I didn't mention that. Like I said, this is not a practice to be looking at one specific player. This is not a preseason game to be looking at one specific player, but as a team as a whole. So I'm asking again, what are you watching for most in this Lions game? Who do you think will be the surprise standout? Do me a favor and drop those comments in the comment section below, guys. You have been phenomenal with these comments. I've just spent the last couple of days catching up on my comment section, and I appreciate you guys for stepping in. But I want to hear from the real expert, guys. Come on in, let me know. But that's a wrap for this video, guys, and touching on the 5 things that I'm going to be specifically looking for, as well as the defense from Jeff Albrecht. I keep an eye on that too. But I want to know what you guys think. What are you going to be watching? But right now, guys, I want to thank you for watching this video. Keep up with the likes, the subscriptions, and please hit that notification bell. This is going to be one heck of a season, guys, in 2025. I appreciate you all, especially my subscribers who keep me coming back doing this. Let's all continue to rise up, and we'll see you tomorrow night in the bins. Peace. All right, Pandemic family, that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you all so much for tuning in and sharing your passion for our Atlanta Falcons with us. Your energy and support are what make this community truly special. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a 2 thumbs up, leave a comment below with your thoughts, and of course, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our exciting content. And seriously, don't forget to hit that notification bell right next to that subscribe button so that you'll be the first to know when we drop new videos about our beloved Dirty Birds. And as always, continue to rise up, and we'll see you in the Super Bowl.